Hello everyone, welcome to another 1 versus 1 Red Alert quick match here on the map North by Northwest. Here in the bottom left hand side we have Forehead, and in the top right hand, well actually not the top right hand, I'm sorry, the top left, but moving his MCV down, we have Radux, the yellow player. Looking like doing a little bit of his maneuver I've seen him talk about before, definitely favoring the movement here, getting closer to the gems here. So let's see what's going on here for Forehead, bringing out some units here, getting the scout on. Let's see what his vision looks like right now. Almost like he has an inkling where Radux is, going north here on the map. Radux currently creeping down here, getting some units out of his own. Looks like we're going to start seeing our first engagement here. A Grenader coming out for Radux, something he often likes to play. Gonna go ahead and start doing some damage on them, but here he goes, gets taken out. So Radux pulling some guys down here, some rifle infantry. Looks like we have another Grenader here though, mixing it up to see what damage can be done. And Forehead here just bringing out the one unit, sees the Grenaders. Want to be really careful here, might be losing all of his units if he's not careful. Let's see, Radux here doing what he does best, placing his ore refinery really close to the gems here, making a very short trip for that harvester. Definitely like to see that. Forehead not having as great of a placement, but continually crawling with his base here, putting down the war factory. Got the silo down, so we're probably going to be seeing another silo here, and then probably a refinery placed right on top of these gems. Let's see if that's what he does. Another engagement here in the middle of the map on the ore field. Forehead pushing up with some units, and Radux defending, getting his war factory down here, creeping even closer to these gems. So let's see what happens. Currently a standoff here in the middle of the game. Shoutouts to both players here, Radux and Forehead on the ladder, very good players. And Forehead asked me to cast this game, so here you go. Shout out to Forehead, buddy. Let's see how you do. Looks like Forehead here with 2 ore trucks right on top of these gems, pushing out here with 3 medium tanks. Radux currently with 2 heavy tanks. What's he gonna do here? Falling back a little bit, gonna bring his units back here, repairing that war factory as quick as he can. Definitely want to get that repair going as quickly as you can. You can see how quickly the tanks can wear it down. Looks like he's gonna have to sell it or lose it. Looks like he loses it, but he has a backup right here. Radux pushing forward here now. He's got some more tanks, and he's got these infantry. Definitely would like to see these infantry get in the fight a little bit. They can definitely help with taking these tanks down. So it looks like we have 4 heavy tanks to the 5 medium tanks here by Forehead, and reinforcing there with another tank. So both players trying to take control of the middle of the map here, which is something we definitely would like to see. Looks like Forehead almost completely mined out of his gems here. Let's see how Radux is doing with the gems. Looks like he has a little bit more, but he did get a little bit of a later start with that MCV move. Forehead pushing out with his medium tanks. Radux getting a nice focus fire, just shredding through these tanks, and Forehead saying, no way buddy, I'm out of here. Let's see if we can reinforce and bring some more tanks to this fight. Radux continuing to push here with heavy tanks. Let's see what happens. Like, both players not wanting to fully commit yet, so we'll see what happens. And yeah, so we saw the silo here. It looks like Forehead was able to place that, and able to place his, I would assume maybe the ore refinery here without the other silo, or maybe he placed another silo and sold it. But another ore refinery coming down here right on top of this field. And Radux, well, having his refinery, one of his refineries right here too. Looks like placing down another war factory, but that's going to get taken out here by Forehead. And we're going to have another tank battle here in the middle of the map. Radux, of course, with the heavy tanks doing a lot more damage, but looks like Forehead having the tank count here. We can see here on the stats, or very limited stats, but we can see Radux killing 26 tanks, Forehead killing 25. This is not the unit size, by the way. This is tanks, or enemies killed, rather, and this is structures killed, essentially. And then we have the money here, so Radux looking pretty heavy with the 4,500, and Forehead spending every dime he has here. Looks like Radux is going to be spending that money, so good for him. So, a very methodical game here. Both players just doing little micro battles here in the middle, but not wanting to fully commit. Both players also crawling towards the middle and definitely mining those gems. Looks like Radux over here mining the top gems now. And, well, Forehead having to do some distance mining. Looks like he's going to be a little bit further here, so let's see how that affects his income. We can definitely see Radux having more right now. That's probably why. But both players just chilling here, trying to figure out what they want to do. One thing on this map here, north by northwest, we have the star pattern, and well, around the corners we could be doing some sneaky backdoor attacks, but definitely the focus here in the middle of the map. And a big massive tank battle breaking out. Radux pulling away, trying to reinforce with some additional units here. Forehead looks like he has a lot of tanks that are low on health, so hopefully Radux can focus fire these down and just get rid of these. Of course, the less tanks you have firing on yours, the less DPS, damage per second, so Radux currently looking to be in a better standing here, wisely picking off those low tanks. You can see all these tanks in the red just going down. Forehead being a little bit aggressive here, pushing up. Looks like he's moving to the side though, and well, he's retreating, so let's see what happens here. It looks like Forehead pushing up north, maybe trying to do some harvester harassment here, just getting a couple shots and doing whatever he can. Definitely every little bit helps. Gotta be careful though, his harvesters here are mining the gems here on the side, so they're definitely wide open if he leaves them that way. It looks like we've got some tanks split up here. He's trying to defend the harvesters, I believe, but also keep some tanks back here at home so Radux doesn't push in and completely take over. See what's happening here though. It looks like Forehead pushing into Radux's base, trying to do some damage. And the tank battle in the the middle, excuse me, continues. Forehead trying to reinforce it, but it looks like Radux dominating currently with the tanks. He's going to be able to clean up all these tanks relatively easy, I believe. It looks like Radux pushing back though, trying to protect his harvester. Doesn't want to let Forehead slip into the base and do too much damage. So very close game here from both players. Very interested to see how this ends up working out here. It looks like some riflemen doing some work over here. Not sure what's going on. So we got the third refinery, I believe. Yeah, third refinery going down there for Forehead, selling the refinery over here because, well, that's not doing him any good, and he could use that money and recruit. I'm speaking all kinds of weird tonight. Recoup those costs, but also the power meter is going to go, well, it's going to go up because he's going to have more power for other stuff. Looks like he does have 3 refineries, though. Let's see what Radux has here. Currently on 2 refineries, 2 war factories. 2 war factories for Forehead, so like we said, a very even matchup. Radux, though, definitely going to be doing some more damage with those heavy tanks, and well, the game just pushed past a certain mark, so it looks like we're in hyper mode now. Let's see what happens. Radux versus Forehead here in the middle. Tanks going super fast. How could you possibly control this? Both players using the Q maneuvers. Very close matchup here. Looks like Radux maybe having a slight advantage, but it's really hard to tell. Forehead currently with about 7 tanks, Radux with about 6. Now that he's reinforced it. Both players mining away. Forehead moving up with a couple guys though. Just a couple guys can do a lot of damage here if he can get this focus down here on the refinery. If he has the time to micro that. Looks like there he goes, putting them wisely there on the refinery, picking away at that, doing whatever he can. Tank battle is just going crazy here in the middle. I don't even know what to say. Let's just watch it and see what happens here. Forehead looks like he has a little bit more on the tank advantage now. He's going to go ahead and try to pick off Radux's harvesters here to deny that eco. Definitely a wise play, but also trying to micro against the tanks here from Radux. Radux trying to reinforce here. A couple units here coming in from the construction yard cell from Radux. Definitely decides he doesn't need that anymore. Needs to spend his money here on tanks. The refinery likely going down for Radux here, so currently on 2 power plants, 1 war factory, and well, that's the game, everybody. GG, 2 top level players. What an exciting match. And well, GG's to both players, and congrats Forehead. We're gonna move on to the next game here, and we'll see you there.